You know, I never really used to be for smart TVs just because, like, most people have multimedia devices that are gonna be hooked up to your TV anyways. But then I realized I could run Netflix and YouTube without having to turn on my Xbox. That's just one less step and a little bit less I kill my Xbox, so I am perfectly okay with that. Like, yeah, I have become a believer of the smart TVs now. Which, whatever. But anyways, hey guys, wow, we got a game here today against, Gzerox or some shit like that. It's some name like that. Yeah, title. But anyways, using Volturning team again. I'm probably not going to be making any new teams until the Greninja suspect test is done. So, I mean, you'll be seeing, rotation of the same shit until then because, yeah, there's really no reason to make any other teams right now, especially when suspect testing will go so quick. But anyways, my opponent's team, speaking of Greninja, does have a Greninja, but the main threats I'm going to look at on his end are going to be the Greninja, obviously, because this team does not pair well against Greninja. Like, it's really weird matchup. And then his Gallade and then his Mence to an extent are really what I'm going to look at, just because Gallade, obviously, once it megas, it outspeeds everything except for Celebi, and it has some way to hit most of my guys, so I gotta make sure I pile on enough damage early enough to where it's not gonna be a huge deal, and then as long as I can revenge kill it, I should be okay. But as long as I deal with that, I should be generally okay. But leads on his end, I thought he was gonna go with his Greninja just because it was the most likely lead, so I decided to go with Celebi because then I can get easy initiative on it right off the bat, and even then I have plenty of pivots to whatever he would want to bring on Celebi, which, so I felt safe with that. But he leads with Sandslash, and I didn't want to let him get rocks up right away, so I decided to just go for Leaf Storm right off the bat, because like I said, I figured I would have enough pivots to where I'd be safe enough. So I'm going to go into Tyranitar here on the Delphox, just because, yeah, I obviously can't stand there, and I want to see what this Delphox wants to do first, because Tyranitar, looking at it, isn't going to be the most useful thing ever. Like, I wouldn't mind preserving it by any means, but it's just, if I have to let something take a hit, it's going to be Tyranitar, plus I expected, not a hidden power fighting, so that kind of sucks. So I can, at the very least, preserve Tyranitar for later, whatever use it might have. So I'm going to switch into Rotom right here. I don't really want to take a risk with Delphox, because if it gets the right things up, it can kind of sweep me. If I went for Volt Switch and he got more damage off on Rotom, he could actually get good initiative with Delphox, so I want to be safe with Hydro Pump, but he goes into Zapdos on my Hydro Pump, which I miss, which kind of sucks, and I think might be slightly relevant later, I don't remember, but it's not too incredibly relevant, but it's still annoying, I think. But he talks to me and does Volt Switch. I notice he has no leftovers, so it's just kind of weird, because seeing the Toxic makes me believe it's defensive, plus right here we're going to see the discharge off of it, so it's just huge defensive vibes from it. But oh yeah, he has a Shell Bell, that's right. Yeah. But I went into T-Tar because I knew after I should be able to take any hits from it, and I thought I would scare him out, so I went for Pursuit, but unfortunately he stays in, and he's able to 2-hit my Tyranitar, which sucks, but oh well. And yeah, the Hydro Pump didn't actually matter, because I'm just going to bring in Infernape right here. I figure, a Choice Band of Fire Punch should be able to take it down to that range, and it does, so that's great. So I take it down, and now he's going to bring in the Glade, I guess figuring that he would be able to take a hit well enough and just revenge kill me, which I'm actually perfectly okay with, because as long as he doesn't go for Drain Punch, I'll be in a generally safe situation, which he doesn't, and he Psycho Cuts just for the straight up kill, so I get a good amount of damage off of Fire Punch, which means he's going to be in revenge kill range of Celebi, so that puts me in a really nice spot there, and I'm just going to bring it in and just go for the Psychic to take it out. And the very least that I show him here is that he doesn't exactly know I'm Scarfed yet, so that kind of works to my advantage for right now, so that's nice. But here he brings in Mence. I'm going to go into Landers right here just because I want the Intimidate going on him. And then after that, I should be able to potentially threaten him because he doesn't see any item from me. So I feel like the first turn that Landers is going to be in, he will feel some sort of haste to try and hit me for as much as possible before I potentially might kill him, since I have, no stat changes. But now I'm just going to U-turn out to Celebi, because like I said, I was counting on him just hitting Landers and then going to Celebi and try and win the speed tie and take him out with HP Ice, but unfortunately he wins the speed tie, but I'm able to live it because of the Intimidate, so I take him down. So that is awesome, because that thing won't sweep my team now. But he goes into the Greninja. I really have nothing that wants to take the hit from it, because this team is old and weak to Greninja, so But Magnuson's the best thing I could think of to go into at the moment, and I figured he would just go out to the Sand Slash, and even then, like, Flash Cannon's gonna be the better move against Greninja, because he'd be more likely to Dark Pulse than a Hydro Pump, so even then, just Flash Cannon seemed in general safer, which it was, because he went into a Sand Slash and he just let it die because he, I guess, didn't need it anymore. But now he's going to go into the Delphox and just revenge me with a Flamethrower, which is fine and dandy. Like, I had no real use for Magnezone, it was just kind of there, but on the Delphox killing me, I go into Rotom, and again I'm just going to go for Hydro Pump, because that same reasoning as before, I need to try and remove it so that it doesn't blow through my team, just because Celebi's the only thing that outspeeds it at this point, so I kind of need to be able to get as much damage off as possible if Celebi is needed for the revenge kill. But Greninja's in again, I kind of just have to Volt Switch and then hope for the best, really, so that's just what I'm going to do. I think I actually only have Celebi and Rotom left, so I kind of got to really hope for the best against Delphox, but he just extra sensories my Rotom, which, you know, it doesn't really matter what he really went for. But yeah, I Volt Switch and then I'm able to kill him with U-turn, so that's great. And then I gotta go back into Rotom because I believe all he has left is Delphox. Yep, so he goes into that, and I really just gotta hope I am able to hit him with a Hydro Pump, and then he has nothing super effective for me, which he doesn't. And I'm able to hit him with a Hydro Pump and take him out. I think he was some form of choiced, but I don't remember. But whatever the case, it is the game, so GG, guy. That Delphox actually really turned into a threat, like, right after he hidden powered my Tyranitar, because it was just like, there was no safe way to really switch into it, and Delphox actually has a pretty nice move pool to it, but generally there are enough things to take it on. So it's usually not a threat, it was just that instance where it was like, oh, this exists, but whatever the case, it was a good game. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I don't know, nothing else to say. Abuse Greninja for as long as possible, in case the potential of it getting banned comes true, which I hope for, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Such blah. Comment, sub, and later, guys.